Welcome to the Mayweather McGregor Vlogcast, episode 31. Mayweather McGregor has come and gone. As always, there's still going to be beef between the boxing and MMA community as far as the fight.
Yeah.
McGregor lost by 10-round TKO.
He did.
I personally thought the stoppage was early.
Agreed. They should have let him hit the ground.
They should have let him hit the ground.
Yeah.
Give him his standing 8 count. And
Let
give
it
him
go
his
from
first
there.
and give him his first 4 rounds.
yeah.
McGregor looked good in the first 4 rounds, like I said he would. And like I said, that was his only chance to win the fight. And he gassed. He was actually outboxing Mayweather in the first 4 rounds because you could tell he trained for that Philly show. Like, that was his plan. I'm going to break down that Philly show. And he had a good strategy. He was doing a lot of body shots. One shot was low, but most of the time he was flush and everything. Worked that jab.
Yeah.
And then Mayweather changed styles on him. He said, well, McGregor said he changed styles on me twice. He had the Philly show, then he started doing the on the
Teasing
ropes.
him 3 times.
Yeah. Then he went on the ropes, and McGregor was ready for that too. But then once Mayweather switched to Mexican style, McGregor wasn't ready for that. And he kind of gassed throwing punches at the gloves. You know, of course, he's used to MMA gloves, so he can punch through guard when people do this, especially like Nate Diaz does it. But the gloves are bigger, it's hard to get it through those hands. He gassed himself out. He lost, that's it, you know. I believe in miracles, but, you know, like I said, my rational side said he was not going to win. I was just rooting for him because, you know, he's the MMA guy. Plus, I fucking love Conor. Who doesn't love Conor?
Yeah. This was my prediction, right? The skill gap was too wide between the two of them. Biggest problem with Conor McGregor is and always will be his cardio. His fight with Nate Diaz proved that.
Twice.
This fight proved that. He should have been ready for a 12-round fight. Either that or he should have been more conservative with his punches. I'll say this, it was an entertaining fight.
Way better than Mayweather-Pacquiao.
It was.
May I interject? That was one of Mayweather's actual best fights. He was, according to everybody, you know, y'all got y'all satisfaction. He wasn't running around the ring.
Yeah, no.
He was actually...
But he couldn't when he did the Philly
even,
show.
It wasn't even that.
He couldn't.
I honestly believe...
McGregor's range was giving him problems in the beginning.
Yeah, but I also honestly believe that Mayweather came into that fight feeling 40.
That too.
Yeah. Oh no, I totally agree
Like
with you.
I feel like he came into that fight feeling 40. So him being Floyd Mayweather and him having a very high boxing IQ and also being a veteran of the sport, he adapted. He was like, yo, I'm not gonna be able to fight like I normally fight.
Plus, this dude is ready for that style.
Yeah. I gotta come up with something different. Again, I'll say it was an exciting fight. It wasn't the greatest fight in the world. There were like rabbit punches galore on on McGregor's side. And Floyd Mayweather, every time they got into a clinch, he would keep giving up his back.
They should have taken points for him for that.
Which, yeah.
Any other boxer and any other boxing match, you turn your back to the opponent, they take points from you. He did that shit repeatedly.
So there was a lot of that. The other thing with that fight, I'm not gonna say it was rigged, but it definitely was skewed towards Floyd Mayweather.
It definitely was.
Especially when you saw the judges'
Scorecards were out of control.
2 of them gave Conor McGregor
just the first round.
The first round.
And that was it.
That's retarded. Again, I'm not even a Floyd Mayweather fan, and I've been yelling that this fight was going to be a sham. The one thing I give it was an entertaining fight, and that's about it. It was a really entertaining fight. It ended the way I was expecting it to end. I thought the ref stopped the fight way too early. Everybody's saying, oh, Conor didn't throw a punch for a minute.
Floyd missed a lot of those shots.
When you watch the replays, a lot of those punches were missing. He caught him here and there, but he was missing. the majority of those shots was missing. And in any other boxing match, you would have given that opponent
standing 8 count.
Standing 8 count. You would have let him hit the ground, give him his standing 8 count, especially since you were pretty much at the very end of the round. So you at least give him his standing 8 count, let him get out the round. Next round,
hopefully he gets his second win and you have an interesting fight.
Yeah, either he gets his shit together or Floyd puts him away. It's one or the other. At the very least, give him that. I felt like that stoppage was way too early.
But you could tell the boxing guys were not trying to have this dude win.
Oh yeah, nobody was trying to have this win. The one thing nobody was trying to have Conor McGregor win this fight. And the boxing guys, even after the fight, will not give Conor his props in terms of that he went this many rounds with the greatest defensive boxer in the history of the sport. Their excuse now is, oh, he's 40. Floyd was 40. He hasn't fought in 2 years. Blah, 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 blah. If any of you guys fought Floyd Mayweather, none of those excuses would be on the table if y'all lost. Not fucking one. So shut the fuck up. Give the guy his props. Next, every boxing analyst, quote unquote analyst, who said that Conor McGregor was not going to land a single punch.
Who said that dumb shit?
Max Kellerman.
Max Kellerman.
No fucking way.
Yes.
Nigga, you ever watched that nigga? He literally blew up when they announced the fight, and he goes, "He's not gonna land one punch."
There was a few guys that said that. Any of you boxing analysts who said that Conor McGregor wasn't gonna land a single punch, or even a single substantial punch, which he did, should all be fired and have all your checks given to charity, because you clearly don't know how fights work.
Two guys throwing fists. They're gonna get hit eventually.
The law of averages dictates he's gonna get hit eventually. Because even Floyd at his best, at his most elusive,
will still get cracked.
Still took damage. He still took a shot here and there. He's never fought a fight where he never ever got touched. You know why? Because that's physically fucking possible. He's not Goku. Get over it. That's what I gotta say about the Conor McGregor fight.
What I didn't like was God damn it, lost my train of thought. But what I didn't like was when people kept saying that Floyd let Conor hit him. I don't know.
Dumb shit?
Yeah,
that was the consensus with boxing fans.
The boxing guys. That was
Floyd let Conor hit him
to let him beat him up for 4 rounds.
I don't know, and or not. Oh, Floyd let him take those first 4 rounds. When has Floyd Mayweather ever been a fast starter?
Never.
What fight has he ever been a fast starter?
No. The one thing I always give Floyd Mayweather in his all of his fights, early rounds, he lets you throw.
But he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't see your pattern.
Yeah, to see what your patterns are and what kind of power you're working with. So he can. So
he doesn't let you deliberately hit him.
He doesn't trade up. He doesn't get beat up the way he was getting hit in those first 4 rounds on purpose. Nobody does that. No professional boxer goes, you know what?
I'm gonna get punched.
I'm gonna figure out this fighter right now by letting him punch me in the face. That completely goes against the idea of Floyd Mayweather and his fight style.
That is the most retarded logic I've ever heard in my life.
Like it's a stupid logic. It's weird that these boxing guys want to go with that. Like boxing purists. I won't say every boxing fan, because a lot of boxing fans are MMA fans too.
Oh, they can't stand MMA fans. I don't know why.
It's the Big Brother complex.
Yeah, it's the boxing, quote unquote boxing purists that like that. And it's stupid, because realistically, comparing MMA to boxing is apples to oranges. Because you put either one of them in each other's sports. I mean, it's a learning curve. There's a steep curve on both sides. Like,
boxing has so many restrictions that when an MMA fighter goes in, what he's taught to go off on instinct, he has to learn how to shut off.
Yeah, it's a different animal.
And then boxing, where he's used to having these restrictions, so he'll feel safe doing certain movements, and only to realize I am open to this guy's attacks. I'm getting head kicked, I'm getting grabbed, I'm getting, a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah, so it's a different animal.
Cause you can't put a boxer into an MMA fight. He'll get smoked.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like everybody like, oh, you say, well, you put a boxer in an MMA fight, he's gonna get wrecked. Yeah, he is. The same way if you put a MMA fighter. Respectably, Conor did very well in his first boxing match. This is a guy who was 0-0 when he went to fight Floyd Mayweather. He did very respectable for that fight. But if you put a MMA fighter versus a boxer in a boxing match, obviously the boxer's going to have the advantage because he's used to those rules. He's used to that style of fighting.
And to him, it's instinctual.
And to him, it is an instinct.
Remember the last professional boxer that tried to fight MMA, he didn't make it out the first round.
It's the same thing the other way around. You put a boxer in an MMA match,
and he got taken out by a whack ass single leg.
He's not gonna last in
he got beat up by a 40-year-old Randy Couture
in a regular MMA match. It's very much apples to oranges. Like it's always weird that boxers need to compare themselves to MMA fighters for some reason.
Because it's an older sport, so they feel like theirs is the epitome of fighting.
It's not. Though.
It's not though. The closest you're gonna get to fighting, real life fighting, is MMA.
Like boxing, boxing's a sport. I always say that MMA itself is a sport. Like neither one of those really work in conditions of a real world. Well, though MMA works more because there's more options than boxing. A lot of boxing. The second somebody runs up on you and fucking grabs you, ain't no boxing. It's done. And a lot of the boxing moves don't work in an actual street fight because both of you ain't boxers.
Yeah.
So it's more random. But yeah, boxing it's a sport. It's fight it's very restrictive fight style, and it's been refined over more than a century. MMA is what, 20, 30 years old?
Yeah, it's not that. It's still young.
It's still very much in its infancy. So,
but it's evolving quickly.
Yeah, but comparing them is just apples to oranges right now at this point.
You can't, like I said, like when you hear boxers say, oh, MMA fighters can't punch. Different stance, different angles because they have more weapons at their disposal.
Yeah, and they got more things to worry about. The same way a Muay Thai fighter doesn't have a boxing stance.
Exactly.
The same way a kickboxer won't use a boxing stance because the fight calls for different things. If I'm fighting in a Muay Thai fight, I'm not gonna stand like a boxer because I'm gonna get my leg torn up.
Yeah, that front leg.
Yeah, your lead leg is gonna get wrecked.
They can't plant their punches.
Exactly. So
that's what gave Floyd problems too, because he didn't have to plant punches to land them because of MMA. Now when he fought Pacquiao, he would keep moving, so Pacquiao couldn't plant, and that's why Pacquiao couldn't land shit.
Granted, when you don't plant punches, you get less power because you're basically throwing from your arms for the most part. But you do get punches out faster. Not gonna do as much damage, but you're gonna accumulate points. At least in the boxing, right?
Yeah. And
with 4-ounce gloves, that's a whole different story. I'd still get punched in the face, basically bare knuckle.
And plus, Conor uses people's momentum to knock them out.
Yeah.
Because he uses kicks to set shit up and makes you jump into it because you're like, I don't want to be in the outside range of his kicks. So you rush in, he times it, boop, night.
But yeah, I'm not being like a fucking MMA apologist or a fucking Conor McGregor apologist or whatever the fuck and trying to make him seem like he's better. Floyd Mayweather won that fight.
It was obvious.
Yeah. He clearly outclassed him, especially towards the end of the fight when Conor started fading. Clearly outclassed him. Props to Floyd Mayweather. It's the first fight I've watched from Floyd Mayweather where I was actually entertained in a very long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And, fuck De La Hoya because these guys broke the record too with 6.5 million buys.
Yeah, De La Hoya coming out with that fuck Conor McGregor, fuck Floyd Mayweather tweet. Canelo Triple G, whatever. Like, I get it. You're trying to fucking... You're trying to build off that momentum that they got and, plug your fight.
That's not happening.
But the way you did it...
He looks like a sour little bitch.
He is a sour. He's always been a sour little bitch.
Because when Conor McGregor first talked about fighting in boxing, he was trying to get Conor to fight Canelo. And then when that fight didn't materialize, all of a sudden, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke fight. Again, you come off sounding like Paul Malignaggi.
You gotta remember, he hates him. He hates Mayweather.
Yeah, Pauline is the most sour man in the world. I can't stand this dude.
Yeah.
He's the dude that gets beat up, and then when he sees a dude that beats him up get beat up, he's like, like, you still got beat up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it just puts you lower on the pole. And the fact that you sucking Floyd Mayweather's dick after you were riding...
Make you look like a rat.
Yeah, after riding Conor so hard, fuck out of here.
Where the fuck is we?
You look like a rat. You look like a fucking rat, and that's what you are.
Yeah.
What's next for Conor? It can be either Nate Diaz, which makes the most sense, or it can be he's still talking about his featherweight belt, so it probably can be Max Holloway.
I don't see him going back to 145.
But he's talking about it, and his manager talked
I
about
don't
it.
see him going back to 145.
Or Habib, but they can't put their.
That fight's not happening.
Habib needs a warm up fight because he
Not
can't
even.
even make the walk. He can't even make the walk.
Not even. Khabib needs to get his shit straightened out first before anything.
That's what I'm saying. He needs a warm up fight to see if he can at least make the fucking weight.
More than
Not
a
even
warm-up fight.
not a warm up fight. That nigga needs to go to a fucking hospital and get his body sorted out because every time he tries to make these weight cuts or try to get anything.
Yeah, they say his liver shut down last time.
Yeah,
God damn.
his liver shut down, and before that one, his whole body shut down.
Like,
So he needs to go to a fucking doctor and see some nutritionist and fucking figure that shit out first before he can even decide to take a fight. I honestly think that they should just retire that nigga on medical reasons alone. Because if he can't make that weight, either make it go up to a higher weight, or he needs to figure out what's going on with him. Because it's one of two things: he can't make the weight because his body can't take it. His body can't take the
I
cut.
think he's just on a terrible diet and he doesn't watch his weight during the off
No,
season.
that's what I'm saying. Either he can't make the weight and his body can't take that cut, or he gets hurt. He's prone to injury too, because he'd be training out there in Bedrock. If he can make that fight and they do it in Russia, that's the biggest fight. That's the next biggest fight Conor McGregor makes.
The question is, how much?
Well,
Now that
he's still under a 4-fight contract with the UFC. So I mean, he could probably renegotiate for bigger money, but it's not going to be the $30 million that he made for the Mayweather fight. The disclosed $30 million,
he makes over $100 million plus endorsements.
Yeah, which behind the
Came
scenes.
home with $120 million.
But about 100, over 100 mil.
So you got the beat endorsements and the Nike endorsement as well.
Yeah, but he's not gonna get that kind of money again this time around for one of these fights.
But if he sticks to boxing, when you agree that he would,
if he sticks to boxing,
elevate his financial.
The biggest thing with him in boxing is that he'd have to win. Because after a while, him fighting like this first time around, it was a spectacle. It was such a sideshow that everybody got hooked in, especially because it was the two biggest
names in combat sports.
Two of the biggest names in combat sports. Now, if he goes in and he fights somebody else, I mean,
depending on who he fights.
Yeah, depending on who he fights, but he still has to win this time around. Because him coming back again is just gonna be like, you keep coming here to lose.
True.
And you kind of just become.
I mean, his skill set in those 4 rounds looked great.
It did.
But he needs that cardio. He needs it.
It did, but again, if he comes back to boxing and he wants to do this again,
he has to win.
He has to win.
He has no choice.
Just to make the money. Because after a while, nobody's gonna see you as like a big draw because
you're gonna keep losing.
Yeah, you're gonna be that nigga that.
It's like Adrian Broner. Like, what the fuck do I watch you?
Exactly. But in MMA, I think Nate Diaz is the biggest fight. That's the biggest fight he should take. Either that or whoever's the number 1 contender at the 155 mark.
Which is Tony Ferguson or Kevin Lee, whoever wins that fight.
Yeah.
I'm going with Tony Ferguson.
I'd rather see him fight Tony Ferguson, but him and Kevin Lee would be a pretty good fight too.
Yeah. I mean, both those guys are killers. Yeah. Both those guys are killers.
Yeah.
But I want the Tony Ferguson fight.
But
I feel like that his long style and his weird movements and all that shit.
Yeah.
It'll be great to watch against Conor McGregor.
That'll be a good fight. The only other one, like,
Plus he talks shit.
now if he goes down and he fights Holloway, I mean that's
a great fight.
That's a good fight.
I know that's a really good fight. I just don't see I don't see Conor making that weight anymore.
Well, he's adamant about it.
I mean, we'll see, but
He's
I don't
adamant
see him
about
making
it.
that weight.
He's adamant about it. So, you know, Conor, when he's talking about I want something, he usually goes for it. So,
Hey, if you can get it.
Also, we're still gonna be talking about Mayweather and McGregor now. Brendan Schuab and Nate Diaz almost got into a fight backstage
For no reason.
for no reason besides Nate just being Nate.
Nate Diaz, that's the reason.
Yeah, Nate Diaz. Brendan Schuab saw Nate, told him what's up. They started talking about the fight, and Nate, you know, Brendan Schuab, like, you didn't give him you didn't give him one round. He's like, nah, Mayweather gave him those rounds, and Brendan's like, what? And then it was kind of inaudible after that, and what I could make out was that Nate says, that's because you're a novice and you don't know shit about boxing. And Brendan Schuab was like, and from what I could hear, it sounds like he said, and that's why Conor pieced you up. And then all of a sudden you hear Nate go, well, fuck you. You a bitch. And I was like, that sounds like Nate. Sounds like something Nate would say. So Brendan Schaub's like, yo, what's your problem? Like, I don't have no problems with you. And then he's like, fuck you, you a bitch. And he sticks his middle finger up at Brendan. Brendan just walks away like, okay. Because, yo, as much as I love Nate's gangsterness, Brendan Schaub is a fucking heavyweight.
Yeah.
And Nate might be the all-around better fighter, but the weight discrepancy is so high.
Yeah, that's 100+ pounds.
Yeah, like, my nigga Nate, I know you a gangster. I know you ain't backing down for nobody, but that would have been a fat L you took.
Yeah, he'd have got fucking stumped.
By a heavyweight nigga
out.
in skinny jeans and funny shoes. But yeah, of course, the next big boxing match that's coming up is Canelo and Triple G.
Yeah. Also, Brendan Schuab saying that shit. Brendan Schuab was a boxer.
Yes, Brendan Schaub. He was a Golden Gloves. He was a Golden Gloves.
He was a Golden Gloves boxer. So, Nate, he does know what he's talking about when he's talking about boxing.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit.
a tad. We got Triple G versus Canelo. The fight that boxing purists been waiting for the longest. I've been waiting for the longest.
Good boy season is upon us.
Good boy season is upon us. Mexican style from a Kazakhstani. I'm going with Triple G. He's the true middleweight king. Also, he's been fighting middleweights. He's been fighting middleweights his whole career, while Canelo is finally getting up to middleweight after he's been fighting nothing but smaller fighters. And he's been completely outweighing them, and he's way bigger than these guys, and he'll cut down and fight these little men. So now now that he fought a bum in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and he couldn't even knock him out, but he made Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. drain himself all the way down to 164. So Julio Cesar Chavez was a shell of himself when he got in that ring, and he still couldn't knock him out. So Triple G's gonna put a hurting on him bad. Don't get me wrong, the fight's gonna be bombs all day. I just think Triple G got stronger bombs. Straight up and down.
All you gotta do is work the body, man. Everybody knows Mexican fighters ain't got no bodies.
So yeah, that's gonna be an ill fight for people who just want to see two men punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the fight to watch.
And rekindles the age-old rivalry between Mexico and Kazakhstan.
Also, Lomachenko versus Guillermo Rigondeaux has been set for December. This is like the ultimate Matrix fight. You got two of the most technical fighters in boxing right now fighting each other. Nobody wants to fight Rigondeaux because he's just annoying to fight. he does what Mayweather does. He makes you stop throwing punches because you can't hit him, and then he tees off with points. Lomachenko is a mix of Pacquiao and Mayweather. He's complete offense, but at the same time, he's being defensive and elusive as fuck. If I'm gonna pick anybody, I'm picking Lomachenko. I don't think Rigondeaux has the output to keep Lomachenko away from him. So I'm going with Loma. Action Bronson dropped Blue Chip 7,000. I think it was last week.
I heard that. I got it too.
It's pretty dope. A lot better
than Mr. Wonderful, right?
than Mr. Wonderful.
Yo.
Oh my, Mr. Wonderful is hot trash. I said it when it dropped. I hated it when it dropped. This is return to form for Action Bronson. A lot of the beats aren't boom bap, but it was still it's that weird like cross between EDM and boom bap type shit. It's dope though. I mean, they do it right. To me, my favorite song on this album is Hot Pepper. Like that's the shit with him, Loren, and some Jamaican guy singing the chorus. Like that joint was hard. That's my favorite song on the album. It's dope. Like I don't really have a track where I'm like, this shit is garbage. Like Mr. Wonderful is a lot of skippage. Like because he was really trying to
crossover.
Yeah, because I guess it was like, oh, this is his label debut, and it was just terrible.
Wasn't his EP? I mean, like
Which EP?
his last one before Mr. Wonderful.
No, that was Blue Chips.
Sad Stories.
Wasn't Ray Shannon?
Oh, Sob Stories.
Stories, yeah.
Yeah, Sob Stories was alright. It wasn't all that.
I actually like that better than Mr. Wonderful.
No, it is better than Mr. Wonderful.
Way better than Mr. Wonderful.
Anything's better than Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful is awful. Like, you had Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter was dope. Then he dropped the joint with Static Selector, Well Done, which was dope.
Yeah, that was good too.
Then he dropped I think it was the first Blue Chips with Party Supplies. That was pretty cool. Then he dropped Rare Chandeliers with Alchemist. That was pretty dope.
That ridiculous color.
Yeah, and then he dropped Blue Chips 2.
That's my shit.
It was cool. I like Blue Chips 2. And then he dropped Mr. Wonderful, which is
the Sob
garbage.
Stories. The Sob
Oh,
Stories.
Sob Stories.
Then Mr. Wonderful.
And then Mr. Wonderful, which was garbage. And now he dropped this shit, Blue Chip 7,000, which he's going back into what made him popular. Because Mr. Wonderful is wonderfully garbage. The worst shit.
It's a hot mess.
It's a hot... Yo,
Yeah.
he tries so hard to cross over. It's just bad.
It wasn't working for him.
It bad.
Well, because I mean, when you start going against what got you to the dance, I mean, it doesn't work, man.
Let's talk about sneakers real quick. German sneaker boutique A Few is dropping a collaboration with Saucony. That's it. They just put out a oil painting of some Renaissance man with a pair of Sauconys on, but you can't really tell what it is because it's kind of keeping it out of focus. But from what I can tell, it looks like a Grid 8000, and I'm hoping it's dope. A Few drops a lot of dope collaborations, especially like they did with Diodora and what they did with Asics when they dropped the Gel Light 3 that people went crazy for. But the Diodora was hard body karate, so I'm hoping this Saucony collab they drop is gonna be dope as fuck. Also, this Saturday Timberland is dropping an all white 6-inch Timberland construction boot, and it's like pure white. I think they're calling it triple white or some shit like that. They're dropping it this Saturday. You catch it online and through certain boutiques that you shop through online. The season finale of Game of Thrones was hard body karate. It was hard as fuck. Hard as fuck. We don't give a fuck if you don't care about spoilers.
Fuck you and your spoilers.
You should have been watched this shit by now. The Ice Dragon.
It's not really an ice dragon.
The Undead Dragon.
It's a white dragon.
So White Dragon was hard body. Like, everybody keeps with the whole Bran is the Night King.
No, he's not.
I don't think he's the Night King
He's
at
not
all.
the Night King.
I mean, they showed who the Night King was though. Remember when they stuck the dragon glass blade in his chest? So, you know, he's not Bran. Everybody stop it. Does Bran probably have a connection with him? Maybe.
No, definitely.
Because he can be a Stark. The
My
Night King could probably be a Stark.
my theory is that the Night King is Bran the Builder. So who is?
Yeah, because he's the first Stark that built the wall.
Yeah, he's the one who built the wall, and there's the fact that it seems like there's a connection between the Three-Eyed Raven and the Ice King. He's in Adventure Time, and the Night King. And it seems to be even more prominent between him and Bronn. Like, he knows when Bronn is warging and looking into the world. He can see, he can sense it. They can sense each other. So I think he's connected to them by blood. I think he's a Stark. And I think it's Bronn the Builder.
I think it's gonna be dope.
Jon Snow.
It kind of sucks that we have to wait 2 years
Basically.
for the next season.
Jon Snow's paternity.
Let's not talk about that.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Jon Snow and Daenerys.
That was crazy.
Look, George R.R. Martin loves incest.
He really does.
He really does.
He just made a whole new Latino phrase. Now la fucking la tía se priman. Is that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
El primo se prima.
El primo se prima.
Yeah,
But yeah, but
that this one's la tías se priman because that's
Oh yeah, aunt. Yeah.
But-
Disgusting.
As nasty as it sounds, well, you know, he bases his shit on history too. But back in those times, like you want to say Renaissance or Dark Ages, families, you know, to keep that bloodline going.
The royal family back in medieval England, medieval Europe, medieval Europe. A lot of the bloodlines mix. So all those royal bloodlines, a lot of them are related to one another in one shape, or form.
Even in ancient Egypt, they had that shit too.
Yeah, but basically
the royal families.
Yeah, so basically, eventually, all those bloodlines, you know, they all became related, and
A lot of retarded children.
yeah, exactly. Like the bloodlines, it's a whole incestuous thing because apparently you cannot marry somebody below your station.
Yeah.
You know, to add some new blood into that shit. So you know, you end up marrying your fucking
Cousin.
your first cousin or your fucking sister because y'all don't know what the fuck is going on.
But see, the thing is also, in the Game of Thrones world, the Targaryens
We're notorious for
were notorious for it. That's why they all had that white hair and purple eyes and shit.
That's also why this guy,
The Mad King.
the Mad King, went mad because he was fucking
Inbred as
inbred
fuck.
as shit.
Yeah, they're all nuts. So, yeah, it was pretty dope.
Yo, that's crazy.
That was disgusting.
Um,
Disgusting. It's nasty.
He's not a Stark.
I mean, he never was a Stark.
Exactly.
He never was.
well, technically, he is a Stark too.
Yeah, but he was never like a Stark. Like
Yeah.
that whole idea that he was Ned's kid, even from the first, like if you read the books, the initial story when they talk about him, it's clear he's not Ned's kid. Like there's more to him than just Ned's kid.
But technically, he does have Stark blood in him, so he is a Stark.
Yeah, he's a Stark and
He's a Targaryen.
And he's a
Targaryen.
Targaryen.
But if they were to make a Hall of Fame of the most evil bitches ever created,
Oh fuck yeah.
Cersei is top.
Bring
Top dog. She goes in with 5. You don't even have. She don't need time. She's just there. She's just automatic.
Yeah, she's challenging the Mad King for the title.
Like, that bitch is wild.
She really is, and I'm more and more, I'm starting to see it that Jaime
He's
is
gonna
kill
gut
her.
her.
Jaime's gonna be the one to kill her.
Jaime or Tyrion?
It's gonna be Jaime.
I think it's gonna be Tyrion.
it's gonna be Jamie.
Yeah, I think it's Jamie though.
It's Jamie because that's.
And I think he might hit her with the club hand. Like, judo chop.
You know why? You're right, because that's the person where she's more vulnerable with. She
Yeah.
let her guard down.
That's a fucking twin.
Plus, she just tried to kill that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she didn't try. She just threatened to kill him.
Mm-mm.
And he was like, "Word, bitch, do it." Didn't happen.
Yeah,
He looked shook. Like
Of
he
course.
saw the mountain.
Well, yeah, because he saw the mountain. Everybody shook at the mountain, but at the same time, it's like he knew it wasn't gonna happen. Like Tyrion wasn't sure.
Of course.
Tyrion was like, "I'm gonna fucked up if I tell him to kill, tell him this nigga
Because
to
that
kill."
bitch really hates Tyrion.
Yeah,
oh hell yeah! He looked killed his father.
She blames
She
the
blamed
kids
for the birth of the mother. When the mother gave birth to
Yeah.
him, she died. She blamed him for that shit.
But
Her daughters.
But Jamie's another story. Like, Jamie, I don't ever see her like killing him, but the fact that he saw that her trust in him wasn't there the same way he trusts her. That
She's crazy.
yeah, that basically
Bitch gone mad.
because he was. Let's be real. He was down to ride with her, even though she was being fucking nuts. Like he was gonna go through with it. Like when Bernie tried to talk him out of it, he was like, "Listen, man, whatever." And he went off, and he was still riding for her. The second he found out, she went behind his back.
And that
she-
shit with Eon?
With-
Eon, what his name is?
Yeah, with the Greyjoy dude.
Yeah, I think it's Eon. Euron, yeah, Euron Greyjoy.
Euron.
There you go. That's his name.
When
Oh,
she
these
went behind
fucking
his back
idiots.
with him and plotted this whole other shit without telling him, like he saw that as a betrayal of his trust to her, and like she's not loyal to him at all.
She's loyal to herself
She's always been
and
loyal
that
to
power.
herself.
She's drunk off power.
Yeah, she used to be that used to be her ride or die. Like everything was done to.
I think ever since the her son,
Well, once
bastard Joffrey.
all her kids died, that's when she lost her shit.
When Joffrey died, that's what really kicked up. Like,
No,
No,
what you think?
it was after Tommy.
Tommy,
Yeah.
I think it was after this girl.
her daughter.
Yeah, after the daughter died, because she had nothing to do with anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it broke her.
Yeah, but she went nuts. The bitch is crazy.
Bitch is fucking mad.
'Cause remember, she
yo.
forced Tommen to kill himself, basically. She pushed him to suicide.
And then we almost had Clegane Bowl. Almost.
Yeah, we had the prelude to Clegane Bowl, where the Hound
He said, "You know what's coming for you. You know who's coming for you."
ran
always
up on the mountain, and words were thrown down.
Mm.
There was a gauntlet thrown down.
I liked it.
The mountain hasn't picked it up yet, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, the mountain definitely picked it up.
Fuck.
That fight is gonna happen.
He said, "You're even uglier than me." What have they done to you? I love it. Also, Littlefinger got killed.
Finally.
And like I said, the way he was gonna die at the hands of Arya. And that bitch smoked him.
Finally,
His own
man.
fucking blade.
Yeah. According to the actor who played Bronn, there was a scene that was cut out from the show where Arya goes to Bronn to basically fact check everything about what happened to get her shit straight. Because it was initially her getting turned, like Sansa was being turned against them. And she got her shit right, and that's when they fucking do the whole thing and all of it comes to light. Because, again, he's the three-eyed raven, he sees
it's
everything, he knows everything. So she was basically using him as like a fact check to basically make sure that everything she's gonna do right now is right.
I love it.
Yeah, so they cut that whole scene out. So
Yeah, the episode's kind of long too.
that episode
Hour
was,
21 minutes.
yeah, it was a feature length episode.
Finally. Oh, that look. We always get them short ones.
Well,
Long
Hey,
ones. No.
Hey, yo.
Fuck you, man.
now this season all the episodes were
Yeah, like an hour and change.
they were always over, and supposedly the next season
This one to be what?
it's gonna be short one. Like since it's a shorter season, apparently all of them are gonna be feature length or some bullshit.
Yes.
Oh, so that's gonna be beast.
Yeah. But yeah, I love seeing Littlefinger turn into a little bitch.
Yeah.
Started crying. He died like a little bitch.
I mean, he's Littlefinger. He was always like a little bitch, but he was very good at what he did.
Loved it.
It was a great way. It was a perfect way for him to die. Arya pretty much murked him without.
You were on the list.
She just she didn't even want to hear it. She just walked away. Didn't let him say shit.
It was beautiful though, cause like
There was no
when
explanation,
Sansa's
no anything.
reading him all his shit, she's telling him all his shit, and then she just looks at Arya and she gives the nod, and Arya just goes shoot, like hold that,
Kills him
nigga,
with his own dagger.
with his own fucking dagger.
So yeah,
Gangster,
very
gangster. I fuck with Arya all day.
yeah.
I want to see when Arya meets the Hound again.
I'm waiting for. I want to find out what happened to Torrhen on the wall.
Oh yeah, word.
He better not be dead.
Nah, he can't die because you gotta have somebody go and tell them like, yo, these niggas got a dragon.
Yeah, no, he better not be dead. That's what I'm saying.
Because you gotta have babies with this bitch.
Yeah, y'all better get that red bitch to resurrect him because he better not be fucking dead. That's the Hound's man. They're gonna, after this whole shit is done.
They're gonna have a spin-off show.
Yeah, they're gonna have a spin-off show where they go on wacky adventures together and say goofy shit.
They're fucking hilarious together.
Fucking Hound, man.
And plus, he still has to have giant children with Brienne.
Yeah.
Word.
He's trying to bring back the Giants.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, man, is probably the greatest TV show ever fucking made.
Mm-hmm.
HBO on the roll.
It's you can't go wrong with this shit. I mean, also I don't like the whole hate over Rhaegar Targaryen online. Everybody's like, oh, his wig look like he came from Party City. How does Rhaegar Targaryen look so bummy? I'm like, it's their TV show. They do what the fuck they want. If that's how they wanted Rhaegar Targaryen to look, then that's the way he's gonna look. Like, they don't go off the direct description in the books. Because if they did, this nigga Tyrion would have his fucking nose sliced off.
Yeah, he would look completely different than
and he'll have
Dinklage.
two different color eyes.
Misshapen head.
Yeah, misshapen head. So, yeah, come on. Stop.
Yeah.
Can't please everybody.
Yeah, Daenerys would be like 12. Arya's like 8. Sansa's like 15.
Exactly, so stop.
So, yeah, stop.
That niggas nitpick the dumbest shit. I swear to God.
The same way they were mad when Ed Sheeran showed up on the show. And they're like, oh, it took me out of the world because he's a real person. Who gives a shit?
Like, I didn't even know who the fuck Ed Sheeran was.
I did. He was the guy who stole No Scrubs.
I don't know who he was. So, like, when I saw the show, and I was like, okay, who is this guy? Why are they making such a big deal out of him? Then I Googled him, and I was like, okay, a guy who sings.
Yeah, and everybody made a big fucking deal about it. It was stupid.
An ugly English guy. Is he English?
Yeah, he's English.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
He looks like a
He's ginger.
Irish.
Yeah, he's like a
He
ginger.
might be Irish though. Like
Yeah.
Irish.
Sheridan,
born.
probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just.
I wasn't. Didn't bother me.
It was a really stupid reason to get mad.
And it's not like he had a lot of lines. He only had like what, 2?
He sang.
Yeah, he sang, and then he just like had one line after
Yeah, he had
that.
like 1 or 2 lines. Like,
Eat. I think he some shit about the
I'm
rabbit.
surprised nobody was fucking crying that Mastodon was on the show. That it took them out of the fucking episode.
Yeah, they were on the show twice. They were on the last episode.
They
with
played wildlings in one episode, and they played zombie wildlings in another episode. They reprised their characters. That's continuity right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, they played dead wildlings and
yeah, but first
they played zombies.
No, initially they were in the show as alive though.
Okay, and then they showed them dead too.
Yeah.
Remember when the Night King raises them?
Yeah, when he raises everybody up.
And then they all there, and you see them.
But they reprised their roles as zombie roles.
Yeah, they came back as zombies for the new
dope.
episode. So it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, stop crying. Fucking internet, you can't please none of these dudes on the internet.
Listen, man, that's what the internet
bunch
does.
of fucking
Everybody cries.
breakers.
That's all the internet.
Like, if you want a
does.
cool Rhaegar Targaryen, go make the cosplay yourself.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Can't please everybody.
Like, come on, it's a show. I personally did not care. I like it fit the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are guys that they basically eloped, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I doubt they were gonna, let's get dressed up and all this shit. Like, no, they were like, you gotta do this shit quick. So, yeah.
It's a secret ceremony.
It's a secret ceremony. So he's like, I mean, dress normal. Yeah. You know, my regular Targaryen baggy clothes. And I'm not gonna comb my hair. My Party City
I
week.
mean, yeah, he was just out there. You know, he went up there to that tower. They eloped. They were just fucking boning all day, and then he's like, "Hey, let's get married."
Yeah,
So they put on whatever they had.
exactly. So yeah.
So that happens when you
Fucking
Bukin,
crying,
you know?
man.
Boo hoo hoo.
Yeah. So
You know, dress nice when you in Bukin. Come on.
I think Paige Van Zandt versus Alexis Evil Eye is slated for. They're gonna fight at 125. I think I talked about that last podcast. I'm not even sure.
I don't remember.
I remember this. Do you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't talk about it. So yeah, Paige Van Zandt versus.
Ooh,
What?
God, that's slow.
He's looking at the Pacquiao. He got knocked the fuck out.
Oh, when he got knocked out by Mahone Marquez on steroids.
Oh,
So also what I didn't like was yeah, we talked about Paulie Malignaggi talking shit. Yeah, enough with Pauline. Max Kellerman had to eat his words. He gave McGregor props on his fight.
Skip Bayless, stop making bullshit excuses.
I hate Skip Bayless.
You sound like an idiot.
I hate him. I hate him.
Oh.
I hate him.
Michael Rappaport.
Oh, stop trolling, please.
It got old. Like, it was funny.
Yeah, first night, second night, okay.
It was funny at first. Like, he was doing like these really, you know, talking shit about Conor.
The Irish fights.
Yeah, but then yeah, it just got sad after a certain point. It's just like, okay,
I get it. You're trying to push your podcast.
yeah, like all right,
It's
all
cool.
right, it's cool.
We get
Shut
it.
up.
You're funny.
Yeah, you're a funny guy.
All right. Yeah. McGregor lost. Oh.
Yeah, and you wanna?
Yeah, I fucking told you.
Yes,
I mean, everybody told you.
Yeah.
Everybody knew.
we all fucking knew he wasn't gonna beat Floyd Mayweather.
I think the only people that didn't think McGregor was gonna lose were his hardcore.
Yo.
Yeah. But his
There's
hardcore
videos
fans-
of dudes punching the television.
Yeah, like that. His hardcore fans.
This dude say, you have to spend my fucking rent money.
Yeah, you're not.
How am I gonna pay my rent? And I'm like,
Listen, if you can't pay your rent, you shouldn't be ordering $100 bill.
oh, he betted on McGregor and he lost.
Well-
So now he's like, he can't. Now he lost his flip, and
But
yeah.
there you go.
How am I gonna pay my rent?
You deserve that. You deserve
Listen,
that.
I took a shot in the dark and I put 50 on McGregor. It's 50. I'm alright.
Nah, if McGregor would have won the payback.
That's two-
If
$150.
you know what's funny? If you would have went half on the rounds in the beginning, right then and there you could have won, which you should have done.
Nah, I was going for the win. I was like, fuck it.
I would have went half on that round. McGregor got the first four. You know what I'm saying? And boom, that would have been it. You would have won that money right there. Especially you would have won more.
It was what it was. $50. Who cares? But yeah, I took a shot in the dark. I let him put $50 on McGregor. He has that 4-round window. He lost it. I was like, fuck it. I knew this nigga wasn't gonna win. You know, I was trolling heavy, 49-1. A lot of people online, well, you know, they were fucking sending me DMs. Hi, your man lost. Like, I've been saying this for like months that McGregor was gonna lose. Like, McGregor's my man. I fuck with him heavy. I knew he's gonna lose. This is not a natural fight for him.
Yeah. Best meme I saw was the Floyd is 51-0 if you count his wife.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
It's true. He's a woman beater,
You don't
bro.
know that, man.
What you mean you
Where's
don't
the
know?
evidence? Where's the evidence?
The